Boo? No. Are you having fun on the beach? What are you laughing at? The doggy. Look, there's this little stray doggy over there. Oh. Who's that? Lewis was up all night getting sick and whatever else, so none of us have really slept, which means for a stressed little baby, so he's literally just been screaming. And you know when they get themselves into like such a tiz and you're like, calm down, like anything I was doing he just didn't care. Take him, put him in the buggy, was pushing him along, normally he falls asleep, and then he was kicking right off and I was just like getting embarrassed, so I picked him out of the buggy, but even like holding him he was just like trying to crawl out my arms and like just going crazy. Just put him on the floor, wouldn't have that. Put him on the little sofa thing, wouldn't have that. There was just like, he just didn't want anything. So now he's actually finally dropped off. My top 10 things to take on holiday with a baby. I do have a couple of them here with me at the minute, but yeah, so I'm going to take you through them as much as I can before he wakes up. Also, I never got the lady's name, but she was like a jogger who ran past me this morning when I was sitting on the hammock with Louis, and she actually turned back and asked if she could take a photo. These curls are just like cracking me up. I've asked her, she said it was a beautiful moment, and I was like, do you know what, the amount of times I've looked through my camera roll and I'm like, oh, let me find a picture of like me and Louis, but I always take the pictures because I want him to have so many memories, so I don't really get in a lot of pictures unless it's like a selfie. So yeah, shout out her, big up yourself. So number 1 of my top 10 things to take on a holiday with a baby is his pushchair. So before we came, I was told, oh, you need to get a lightweight stroller, your buggy's going to get damaged, rah, rah, rah. Don't be afraid to take your own buggy, because I was thinking, oh my gosh, my buggy's going to get wrecked. We literally took it to the gate, so all they had to do was put it on the plane, and then the other side it came off on the baggage thing, and it was absolutely fine. Many people told me to take a lightweight stroller, but with his own buggy he's so used to it. He literally can lay all the way flat in his buggy as well, so it's not like he's like slanted up when he sleeps. He is now, but that's because the change of bag was there and I didn't want to do it anymore because I thought it would wake him up. But at night it's just so nice, he can fall asleep and he lays literally so flat how he does in bed, so he doesn't really notice that he's in it, to be honest. So yeah, I would 100% just say, I'm not recommending not to take a lightweight stroller, but don't be scared to take your own buggy because he's so used to it, and I've had no issue and it didn't get damaged because you can take it to the gate, so they're not like throwing it around like for ages. So yeah, I'm gonna post a picture of him in it as well because he loves his buggy. Apart from this morning, he did not love his buggy, but yeah, it's just so good. I'll post a picture. So my buggy is a Mums and Papas Flip XT2. That's, I always forget what it's called. But yeah, I originally bought it with the whole travel system, with the carry cot and the car seat and the adapters and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been a godsend for this holiday, and he's so comfy in it because he's so used to it. So yeah, I would 100%, don't be scared. Scared to take your actual buggy. Oh, I'm sorry, but I just can't do this anymore. I'm chopping them off. That is just mad. Look, big up postpartum hair, do you know what I mean? So number 2 is this. So it's the Solait by Superdrug Baby 50 Plus Moisturising Sun Lotion, water resistant. So obviously there's barely any left because we have used so much, only because we've been by the pool every day and it's been so warm. But he's not been burnt once. He's literally like, there's not been one point where I've actually been worried. And also I have been using it on my face, and normally when I go away I get so red in my face, so I've been using factor 50 on my face just because I don't want to get wrinkles, do you know what I mean? So yeah, using this, and originally I wasn't the one who bought this, Lewis bought it, and originally I was like, oh for God's sake, he's bought Superdrug own brand, that's not going to be good, blah blah blah, but we tried it and honestly it's so water resistant as well, because I literally had some on my hand and I tried to wash it off in the sea and it just wouldn't come off, which is good because it means that when he's in the pool and stuff it's still there. So I definitely recommend this. Don't be frightened that it is an own brand and it's not your normal Niveas and stuff like that, because honestly he's not got a burn on him, which is obviously good. I mean, I've kept him out of the sun, but when we've been in the pool obviously there's no shade and he's literally been absolutely fine. So would 100% recommend this sun lotion for your child. Number 3, can't count, 3 is this. And if you've been watching my Instagram stories, you will know that I can't rave about this enough. So what this is, it's the Easytots mini mat plate slash lunchbox. So it has a little lid that you put on, keeps everything fresh, but it's just amazing, especially if you're on holiday, if you go to all inclusive. When you go to the buffet, there's only like smashable plates available, and I also just don't want him to eat off the table, although I'm sure they're clean, but this is just a lifesaver, and he's used to eating off it, so it's almost like he eats off this at home, so it's like you can bring it away. It also has these little suction things and they're so strong. Like, the only thing is they don't stick to like matte surfaces, only shiny surfaces or like wooden tables, which can be annoying, but most restaurants have the sorts of tables that it will stick to, and honestly he's tried to pull it off so many times and it just doesn't budge. So there's 3 little compartments. I like it, it looks like a smiley face. I use it if someone's looking after him. I use this all the time, not even on holiday. I just make his little lunch and then put the little lid on, and it's like a lunchbox. So then you can like prepare it and stuff, because I know that I'm a paranoid parent, so if I give someone blueberries I have to smush them myself, so I know that it's done, and grapes have to be cut by myself too, so I can prepare it all and then just put it in here and it stays fresh, and he likes eating off it. So it is just really good. It is from easytots.com. It is I think $16.99, so I've got 2 of them. They do deals like all the time, so keep an eye out for that. But I can't rave about this plate enough. I've got a little grey one and a blue one. Hold on. So number 4 is random, which I didn't know would be a thing, but it is. Ice cubes. So I was a bit scared because obviously in Mexico I wasn't quite sure on the ice cubes, but I was reassured by the waiters that, and a sign on the bar that says their ice cubes and water is perfect, so because they're trying to minimise like plastic bottles and stuff, which is good. So they offer cold water on request, does that make sense? So obviously the ice cubes in your drink is made with their water, which they say is absolutely perfect, so it's fine. But even on the plane as well, ice cubes came so in handy. I'm going to insert a video of Louis whilst we've been here, and you know, it just keeps him entertained. I literally get a cup with ice cubes. 1, it hydrates him, and I know that he's getting hydration because he eats drinks it. 2, it just keeps him occupied for like half an hour, and for me I feel like that's a win, because if you do that like 3 times a day, that's a whole hour and a half that he is busy for, and you can just like chill. Yes, he does get wet, but who cares when he's in his swimwear. He did get a little bit wet on the plane, but I had a spare change of clothes anyway, so yeah, it's absolutely fine. In the hot weather I do get paranoid that he's not hydrated enough, even though he does still drink milk. He's not a big water drinker. I offer it to him, but it's so hard to get him to drink it. So having ice, he literally will go through like a cup of ice, and so far so good. Hasn't affected his stomach, so I mean. Number 5 is these bad boys. So if you watched my previous video before, you would have seen that I packed these in my changing bag. I have used half the packet. They're just so handy for like wiping down tables, or like in our room, if he's like crawling about, I can just wipe down the side if he's like holding onto it and walking along. Also at like dinner and stuff like that. And I also use it because, again, I wasn't quite sure on what the water was like in our room coming out of the house. I do use it to wipe this down as well, so I know it's a nice and sterilised thing to eat off. But yeah, also on the plane they were great to wipe down things as well. It's just like reassurance that you know that it's like sterilised, and especially currently like with COVID and stuff, and all the germs, and you don't want them to get ill on holiday, so it's good that you'd be able to wipe it down. Also, if you dropped a dummy in the sand, I can wipe that off. His bottles, if he drops them on the floor, I can wipe the teats with it. So yeah, they're just really handy. Spoons as well, I've been using to clean them. So number 6, I'm going to insert a picture of him wearing one down here somewhere. Bibado, bibs, which is basically apron that goes all the way like around him and over the table, like you can velcro it over the high chair too, and it just stops all the food going on the floor. Because I know how annoying it is when you go to a restaurant and you put them in the high chair, and I do baby led weaning, so he eats big bits of food and then just drops it on the floor, and like you almost feel so bad when you leave. Obviously I pick up the big bits off the floor before I leave any restaurant, but it's hard to get the little bits, and then I almost feel like embarrassed, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, and I'm just constantly apologising. Here they don't care, like if they see me picking his food up off the floor if I forget to take his bib, they're just like no, and I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. But yeah, they're so good here. But yeah, it's it just stops mess, honestly, like getting all over his clothes. It's waterproof, and it's just, I have to like put them in the washing machine, just wipe it down, which is even better because obviously I don't have a washing machine here. So if it gets dirty, they're just wipeable. I definitely would recommend that as well for travelling. They're just really easy to carry around, and having your change about 7, because I also will insert a picture of him in it, but I would 100% recommend, if you're going away with a 1-year-old, to definitely buy or take with you an inflatable of some kind for the swimming pool. Like, obviously Louis can't walk yet, he's just crawling, and the water is too deep for him to crawl around in. So with this inflatable, he obviously sits in it and we just push him around, which he absolutely loves. Or he uses it as like almost like a walker in the pool. So if he's in like the shallow bit, which he can stand up in, he just like pushed it along. I'm gonna insert a little video of him doing it because I just love him so much. That was a must. I think if we didn't have that, I don't think he'd be very confident in the water, but it was nice for him to just sit in it and be able to splash from his little boat. It is like a little car, it's really cool. I mean, we're not going to take ours home, we are going to leave it for another little one to use while they're here, rather than them buying one. So yeah, they are really good, so I definitely recommend a little float. This was so needed after today, I can't even tell you. This morning he got me up at like 10 to 6 and I had to get ready because Lewis had been up all night being sick, and I was like, oh, so I had to like get him out of the room without being noisy. And then we went to like the little coffee shop together, I got a coffee, we watched the sunrise together, it's so sweet, and then we went for breakfast together on a little date. And then we went down to the beach, had a little play, but it started raining, so I was like, oh, we need to like come back in, so I put him in the buggy. And then I thought, right, I'll try to get him to sleep, because he'd been up since 6. By this time it was like 10 o'clock, and he normally has like a nap after like 4 hours. The boy was not having it, so I was like, okay, took him out, we went on a little hammock together. That was lovely, and he was fine on there. Every time I put him in his buggy, he's just crying. And then I thought, you know what, I'll just take him out the buggy, because he might go sleep on me. No, honestly, everything I did, he didn't want to know. And he was screaming, there's people looking at me, like some Canadian walked past, and she was like, wow, he's tired. And I was like, I know, it's not my fault, I'm trying my best. And I was like on the verge of tears, but I held it in, and I mummered the shit out of this. So, I mean, I'm proud of myself, because I was so close to tears, and I kept thinking, right, I'm going to go up to this hotel room and just sit there and get Lewis to help me, but even though he's ill, well, I didn't. So I manned it on my own, and now he's peacefully sleeping in the buggy, no harm done. Do you know what I mean? So it's fine. Number 8, this may be an obvious one, but these bad boys, I mean, I have seen them, what they called happy nappies, but they're so expensive, and I'm like, these are just fine. Not gonna lie, out of the water they're not very good at holding things in, but in the water absolutely fine, and they're so good because they're just little pulley up ones. So obviously that had to be in the list because yeah. And I think these ones, yeah, these are Huggies, little swimmers, and they're cute because they've got Nemo on, so a bit of a boring one, but 100% recommend the little swimmers. Number 9, oh my god, look at my rolls, haha, is this. So this is a Speedo float jacket, ranges from age, this one is for 1 to 2, so it lasts a while, a year. So if you ever go, even like in the winter, if you go like somewhere indoor swimming, you can use it. And like, well, the first day we got here, I didn't put it on him for the first part, and he was literally like, he's not petrified of water, but he just wasn't really taking, he wasn't very confident because he hasn't been swimming since I think he was about, we went to my gym, I think he must have been about 8 months old. So obviously he's probably forgotten. I got this from Next. I will put the price in the description because I've actually forgotten to look, but I'll definitely find out. But it's just so good. As soon as I put it on him, he just feels so much more confident. Like yesterday he was like not jumping in obviously, but sitting on the side and like leaning forward so I could catch him and stuff like that. I just, he actually lets go of me. He's not like around my neck anymore. When he wears this, he does like to float in it, so that's good. Disclaimer, it is not used as a life-saving device. It doesn't stop them from drowning, so don't just think, oh, he's got that one, I can throw him in the pool, because no, it's just it just gives them a bit more confidence in the water. But I would definitely recommend it, especially if you're like me and you're a paranoid parent, because I just had visions in my head of like me sunbathing, and obviously I'd never take my eye off him, but I don't know, you just never know what could happen, or like, yeah, or he like slips while I'm there and I don't catch him or something like that, and then I just thought nah. So this is 100% recommended by Mwah. Now my number 10, I'm not gonna lie, it's not for the babies, Hans. It's not for the babies. This is a metal straw. One, it's great for mojitos because you don't want mint in your teeth, because that's what's happening. Because in Mexico they do not do plastic straws, they only sell metal ones, because save the turtles, man, save the turtles. And it's just perfect for these cocktails that are a bit slushy, so when you drink them they like hit you in the face. Not anymore, so I've got the straw. Not anymore, so I've got the straw. Oh, what a rhyme. This is for all the mamas out there, don't forget your straw to enjoy your cocktail. Basically $5, but you can get them from Amazon for a lot cheaper. Because honeys, we all need a drink, we all need to let our hair down. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, like, subscribe and share it to your friends. If you don't like it, then don't watch again. Do you know what I mean?